Hello and welcome back, Spiffers. Welcome to the Salesforce Spiff 5-minute tip of the week. This is Jamie Woodhouse, CEO and founder of SaaS Educators, and we'll try and keep this one short and sweet. I keep talking about this, that I'm trying to keep it at 5 minutes, and it seems like each week I go longer and longer and longer. So we'll see how we do this time. I apologize for the last video. It was really dark. At least the camera when it showed my face and I was talking with you and things like that. I think the screen recording was okay, but the this video part was really dark and I didn't like that. Didn't realize it until after it was posted and everything like that. I thought it just worked all the same. So hopefully I've got my dark issues resolved so you can actually see me. But let's get started. So I gave a teaser for this. I gave a teaser for this last week. And so I've got linked below last week's video where we talked about and showed how to create summary metrics on a worksheet and have them show up on a statement. But now what I want to do is I want to actually create metric cards, is what we call them, and have the cards kind of at the top of the statement. And how do we build those? I'm going to use the same metrics that we built last week. So if you want to know more specifics of how we built those, click on the link below and in the description, and that will show you how we actually created these. But let's go ahead and open up Designer in our new tab. Let's go to our YouTube example plan, and let's look at our YouTube example worksheet. So if you remember, we've got the quota on here now. We've got the total ARR in the period. So the ARR that they sold in the period, what their quarter to date ARR is, and how you can, and the attainment, so that you can see the attainment on there. So let's add these as metric cards. As we go back and we look at Ava Sasna, as we've been looking at, let me unfreeze these. It automatically freezes them, and I usually remember to unfreeze them so that we can mess with it, but you're not going to be able to recalculate frozen statements. So make sure when you're doing editing that the statements aren't frozen. But if we go to Ava and we go to the YouTube example plan that we're working on, we've got these key metrics and data that we added last week, but this time I want to create these metric cards so you can kind of see them in a different way, and you can kind of choose how you want to display it to your statements. And I'll end with adding a custom metric card, a message. If you want to send a message to your reps on your statements, you can do that in a little hipper trick that I'll show you at the end. All right, so we're going to go ahead and go into edit mode. And these metric cards or tiles, you can just add. This, by default, it gives you the total commissions for the period, their commissions trend over the last 12 months, and then a breakdown by rule of their different commissions. You can choose to remove those. If you don't like any of these, you can rearrange them just by clicking and dragging the 4 arrows, however you want to display it. But all I'm going to do is just add, we're going to add the attainment as well as their quarter to date sales, or the ARR that they've closed, so that they know how to compare it against their quota. So we're going to go ahead and add a tile. We're going to choose, we've got a few out of the box standard ones, if you will, but most of the time you're just going to hit custom because you're bringing in a custom field. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select my YouTube. I've got my planned quota. I want my quarter to date ARR. Notice that this is showing only display fields, the display name. And since we renamed it, it's giving it kind of generic. You can actually go back to the display name, put an asterisk in the one that you want if you have a lot of things that are listed in here and you don't know which one to pick, because they're all very similar. Just put an asterisk in the display name temporarily so you can pick the right one, and then you can remove the asterisk afterwards. Little tip. So we're going to do the quarter to date ARR. It only gives me an option to do a single value. We also can do it compact or regular. Compact is nice when you have numbers like this, so you can stack them on top of each other. But I'm just going to do mine regular so that you can see what this looks like. All right, and it adds it. And just like we had before, when we add something new here, we have to recalculate and refresh. But before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and add the attainment. So we do it as a custom. We look at QTD attainment, I think is the right one. Actually, I'm going to just do attainment. So this is a good example of I'm not exactly sure which one it is. I can go back to my metric here, and when I click on it, it gives me the display name as quarterly attainment. I can put an asterisk in there if there's more than one, but since it shows me both, I know that it's the one that is quarterly, so that's the one I want to pick. This one I'm going to do a progress ring. Since it's a percentage, I can actually do a progress ring for this one, and you'll kind of see how that looks. We go ahead and add that, and that one actually just comes straight up, and so that you can actually see how this is. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and hit Done Editing, and I'm going to recalculate and refresh. You have to refresh with these metric cards in order to pull that data in there. But I can see I'm at, or Alyssa is at, Ava is at 79% attainment, and that's their quarter to date ARR. And so they can see that a little bit more visually with the progress ring instead of having to go and look directly in the payout rule. But it's up to you on how you want to do that. But pretty straightforward. I do like the cards in some instances, mainly if it's overarching for the entire plan, like the ARR for the quarter. That makes sense. If they've only got one quota that they're working towards, it makes sense to show that there as well. But you kind of can play around with it and see how you want to tell that better story. But what if I wanted to add a message? Well, what I can do, I'm going to go ahead and just create this in its own little area so that I kind of know what this is for. I'm just going to create a label called sales message, monthly sales message, because I'll update this every week or every month when the rep statements go out. And all I have to do here is just type in the message. So I don't have a good example. Usually I like copying and pasting a message so it actually makes sense of what you're being able to do. But I'm just going to say, this is the sales message. Going to rename that really quick to YouTube monthly, can't have spaces, YouTube sales message. And under the display name, I'm just going to call this monthly sales message because that's how it will show up on my metric card. And I want it to look nice that way. All right, once that's in there, I can go ahead and go back to my, my statement. When I click on edit and I actually search to add this and I select my custom field, when I look for it, where I look for my sales message, monthly sales message, it shows up. Good. I thought I was going to have to refresh and was going to show you that, but it looks like it came across just fine. So I choose my monthly sales message. It can only be a single value, and I always want it regular because you can't fit very much on a compact. There's only a certain number of characters that you can add to these, so you want to make sure and keep it short and sweet. So we're going to recalculate and refresh. And this is where you have the sales message. Another thing that you can do, kind of the final tip with this, is let's say you want to add some emojis on that. Who doesn't love emojis? Well, what I could do is I could actually go to a site like getemoji.com and search for any emoji that I want, and I can copy and paste it into my message if I want to. So let's say I like the teeth smiling one. I can search for anything in here, and I'm just going to do that one. It copied that. Notice when I clicked on it, it says that it copied it. I can go back to my worksheet. I can double click in this, and I can add it. Just do a Control V to paste it, and blue check mark to save it. And that's how I can add emojis to my messages. Now, when I go back, if I recalculate and refresh, it now has a nice little emoji on there. So, fun little tip. Hopefully, that helps you kind of customize your cards and your statements so that it's a little bit easier and more readable for your reps, and they can get more information and enjoy their statements a little bit better. That's it for our 5-minute tip of the week. Again, just a reminder, I launched the dates for our spring season, the locations where I'm coming out. I'm doing a 2-day Spiff admin boot camp at different locations across the United States. Come and join me. You'll get a hands-on environment like the one I'm on that you can play around with. We're going to build together, and I'll get into a lot more details. I'm just scratching the surface with these videos. You come to the class, you'll be a real expert of everything Spiff after you spend 2 days with me. So hopefully click on saseducators.com is my website. That is in the description in the video, and come and reserve a seat. We've got 25% off early bird pricing right now that will be ending a month before each class. And so register now, and you'll save some money. All right. Look to see you soon. Thanks, everybody. Have a great week.